Good evening to you, good afternoon and welcome to a show where we're going to open up that craft vault again. Maybe been a wee while since you've seen it, but boy, we've got incredible deals when it comes to the craft vault. You may have seen some of them this morning on Wake Up Call, but we are going to bring in a few other ones as well. You may be seen over the last couple of days, so before they're gone, we're going to bring them back. We're one last chance for you all to see. I am not on my own though. We've actually got a little bit of a celebration going on because we've got award-winning Jan is in the building today. Hey!
Look. Honestly, I was so excited when I found this out and I wasn't here and it's the first time I've been back since. So I just wanted to say a massive thank you to you guys because I wouldn't have this without your votes. So I was very pleasantly surprised. I know the night that it happened, Ben was on air and he actually messaged me at home and said, "You've just won Demo of the Year." And I was like, "What? Excuse me?" He's like, "You've just won it." He says, "Honestly," he says, "you've got a little trophy and everything." And I was absolutely blown away, a little bit overwhelmed by it all. Aww. So yeah, massive thank you and lots of love, because without you guys out there, A, it wouldn't be much fun doing our shows, and B, things like this do make a difference. And I know, Craig, you got the Craft Expert of the Year, didn't you, alongside our Debbie Fisher?
Debbie Fisher, yeah.
Yeah, so you've actually got two award-winning crafters in the building tonight, haven't we?
I may not have won Crafts Beautiful Awards, but do you know what? This is a better.
Oh, I thought, to be honest, I think this is better.
I think so.
And our John's made the little trophies especially for us. I'm going to have to find a place in my craft room for that to sit.
I think, yeah, we're going to have to get them personalised, Jan. I think we're going to have your name on that one, and we'll get myself and Debbie Fisher's on this one as well.
Honestly, very coveted those. You're not going to get one of those anywhere else, are we?
Not at all.
Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, I was chuffed to bits. I really was. So thank you guys from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot, it does. We're very sentimental up here.
It does.
So yes, that was the order of business. We needed to do that first. I'm just going to pop that just there so that I can see it and keep having a look at it, a little stroke of it, yes? So yes, we've got lots of things in that craft vault for you. We've got some ridiculous prices, and I mean ridiculous. If you were watching earlier, you got a little taster of it. If you've just joined us, honestly, they are jaw-dropping, some of the prices we've got on for tonight, and we, Craig?
They really are.
Crazy.
Really are. So busy within Wake Up Call. I would say, taking away the fact of like a birthday event or a celebration, it was one of the busiest Wake Up Calls, which I'm not surprised. So that does mean, though, that we are going into this show with even less stock than we thought we may have initially gone into. So just bear that one in mind. What we're going to do is I've got a selection of stuff, so is Jan. Jan's going to be showing you some things as well. So I'm going to go over my lot first of all, so it gives you the opportunity on the website crafterscompanion.co.uk.com.eu. It's all there on Shop the Day, including some of the elements, the items that are not necessarily Spectrum Noir related. What I mean by that, what we're showing you just now, is 50% off. Other thing I do want to point out, for instance, if I bring in our first item, it's not everything from the range that's going to be 50% off. So if you go across to our website and look at the ranges of our Tricolour Aqua, it is only this one. It's kind of like a little bit of a taster for many of you that are 50% off. So let's start with it. $4.99 or $7.49. It's giving you that 50% off. But if you're Club Inspire, comes down even more, $3.99 or $5.99. That is for your Tricolour Aqua marker pens. Now this is your essential set. With these being aqua and water-based, it does mean that you're going to be able to get a variety of shades. You're actually going to be able to draw them out. You're going to have a good play. So yes, they're essential neutrals, but you think even colour wheels, how you can create different ones. Earth Natural, Rich Natural, or grey or neutral, so to say. Those are the colours you're going to get. So that one there, Tricolour Aqua markers, 3-pack, essential neutrals, $4.99 or $7.49. Jan, that one there, that was the first one this morning that I realised before we went live how good a deal this show was
Just
going to be.
crazy, aren't they? Yeah. And these are not deals that come round every day either. So we just kept talking about the fact that, you know, coming up to Christmas, if you wanted to buy gifts for anybody, if you've got crafty friends, crafty Secret Santa, anything like this, these prices are absolutely amazing. But like Craig said, it's just a selection of products that we've chosen from the whole Spectrum Noir range, which is that big umbrella heading for anything sort of colour related. So yeah, just keep an eye out for the ones that we actually have on the show. So next up, we've got one of our discovery kits on at half price for you. So again, this is a great way of trying out products.
Yes.
All of them that we've got on tonight are actually, if you're just dipping your toe in the water as far as colouring's concerned, all of these are a really good way. But I love the way these are packaged as well. It's a really nice sort of gift box if you wanted to give it to someone. So creative colouring, and we've focused in this one with your Classique pens, and then there is an art liner in there as well, which I'm going to show you in a second. So if I just flip this over, we've actually got 5 of the Classique pens, which I'll talk about in a second, plus 1 art liner, plus you actually get illustrative material to colour in, and you also get a little guide as well from the artist. In this case is Cara Aldridge, and she's actually done a lot of the work with the Classiques, and she goes through what they are, how to blend them, how to add them to your designs and things like that. So in here, lovely little box. You can see we've just put a guide to the colours. Obviously these are on cardboard, they're not an exact match, but it gives you an idea of what's in there. And they've been chosen specifically for colouring these particular images. So we've actually got in here images that are pretty much like hair, skin, those sort of features. So just first of all, to talk about, now then, do you know, I've just looked at that and you know where I'm going with this, don't you? Johnny, producer Johnny will know. Why is it bothering me, Johnny?
I can see.
They're not lined up, are they? I'm just like, oh, I can't cope because they need to be like this. And they're laughing because they know me so well. It's like, yeah, that's much better, look. Yeah, we've got there. So in here then, we've actually got one of the yellows. We've got a nice ice grey, a denim, which is part of the True Blue range. We've got carnation pink, which is one of the bright pinks. And we've got honeycomb, which is one of the tans. So when you actually think about this, you know, you've got a really nice deep skin tone with the tan one there, the honeydew. Okay, we've actually got the pink and blue in there and the yellow, which would almost cover the primary colours. I know technically this one would be red with primary colours, but if you still mix the red and the yellow, you'll still get the orangey tones there and the purpley tones, and then the greeny tones where they overlap. So you've got sort of the facility to get extra shading with these, with different colour hues with them. And then the grey one, really, really good for adding depth to the colours. So if you wanted a wee bit darker blue or a darker pink, you can start and add a little bit of the grey to it. And if you were watching earlier, I know I like to do this, and I know I've seen Craig do this before as well, where you actually outline the whole image with one of the greys, and it just makes it pop off the page rather than it be flat. So those are the actual Classique pens, and these are sort of our, I want to call them a starter range, but there's no reason why anyone can't access these. No. They're actually sort of the bones of the range, I think, that started out life with the Classiques, and then we've sort of built on that from it. So these actually have a bullet nib. You can see there we've got a really nice, that's probably not the best colour to show you against my skin, is it? Seeing as it was a skin tone. There we go, you can see that one better. All right, so they've got a really nice bullet nib for adding colour to, you know, sort of more specific areas. But the beauty of these is they've got that gorgeous chisel tip on the other end, which allows you to add a lot of block colour if you wanted to add, you know, a larger area of colour. It's the same colour all the way through, and it's formed in that lovely sort of ergonomical shape. This has changed slightly over the years as we've learnt more about the pens, but they're really nice to hold and get going with. And then also in there, and I'll talk about these a little in a bit more detail later on, but you've got one of our art liner pens in there as well. These are black ink, and they come in different nib widths. Now this one's a 0.1. We also do 0.3, 0.5, so on and so on. So the smaller the number, the thinner the nib. And if you get a could look at that one. It is so fine.
Isn't
there.
it just?
Really fine. This is one of the smallest ones. There is one finer than that. There's a 0.01. But in this kit, we've gone for that 0.1. So really fine black nib. And what this allows you to do is to add detail to your work. So in here, we've got black ink that once it's dry, it's completely waterproof. So you can work with it with your alcohol markers or with any watercolour product as well. And it won't move. It's great if you're stamping and you miss a bit of your stamping. You can actually fill in the gap with this and it will work with regards to your colouring medium. They're great for adding extra detail to it. One of the things that I tended to do a lot of before, if I just bring this back in that I was playing with earlier, was that sort of, you've seen me do the wobbly lines around the edge of things. It's like, there's no way I could draw a straight line. And again, just framing a piece of work that you've done.
This is what
So
I
it's
love
done wobbly,
doing.
wobbly, and then you come back the other way and you go the opposite. So where you've gone sort of dipped, you go over the top. And there's lots of different ways of doing this. But sometimes, you know, you think, what I've done just wants a little bit of a frame. And then I tend to just pop my little, they're almost like stitching lines in it every so often.
So effective, isn't it?
But it just sometimes finishes off, and these pens give you the facility to do that. They will work over the top of the inks, they'll work over the top of your watercolour inks and your alcohol inks. And as I say, they're actually ideal for sort of, if you want to draw with them. I've not brought it today, I don't know why I didn't pick it up. I do a lot of Zentangle work at home, I find that quite relaxing. And the different widths of the pens, I've got a whole pack of them coming up later on. The different widths, the thick and the thin, is what the Zentangling's all about. So yeah, you get one of those in there as well. And also to go with that, we're going to get some artwork. So you can see we've got a couple of designs. In fact, I think there was 3 altogether, I think.
Sure there was, wasn't there? Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one's perhaps been used at some point, but I think, if I remember rightly, there were 3 images in there. Let me just have a little look. 6 pieces of paper, printed and blank. Yeah, I think there were 3 blank ones and 3 that are printed on. And these are printed on the correct paper to allow you to get that optimum benefit with your markers, with your alcohol markers. And then you get the not instructions as such. There's a little bit of information about Cara herself, about the actual classic markers, and then it goes on to talk about how to use them, how to bring the colours. We talked about that they will blend to a certain extent.
Yeah.
Yep. And again, mixing those colours to get the others, adding the greys in to darken those colours, adding the pens here to do special effects with them. So yeah, lots and lots of tips in there that actually comes with your kit. So I think the fact that those are on at 50% as well, an absolute steal tonight for you if you're in the market for any of those.
Really is. And I remember Leanne saying as well, because the colours that Jan's just shown you there, they are colours that are in our standard classic collection. But sometimes you just want to have that nice little collection, that box. You don't have to go digging for stamps. You don't have to go digging for the right pen. It's all there. Pop them into your storage box or store it to the side there, so you're not having to take everything out. So that's sometimes worthwhile doing that as well. I know some people do that as well, Jan. We have got Rachel on the comments tonight. So Rachel, she's given us a helping hand. And Stephen, he said, good evening, everyone. We've got Barbara is saying hello from Indiana. We've got Robin from Connecticut. We've got Fred171 is saying hello, everyone. He's actually saying good day, everyone.
Good day.
Anne Fleming is saying hi from Texas. We've got Roseanne is saying hello from sunny Massachusetts to Jan, Craig, social superstar Rachel, the CCTV team, and my crafty cohorts. Like that.
Beautiful.
It's a good one. Kimberly is from Winston-Salem, North Carolina, saying, hello everyone. Cloudy day here in Tar Heel State. Been a bit windy here as well.
It has. We've just had to sort of bolt the door because it was blowing the door and blowing everything around. We've got a bit scared.
Just a wee bit.
But then I'm not sure it's anything like what they're experiencing over in the States. So
exactly, yeah.
Our thoughts are with you guys. Stay safe.
Absolutely. I know it's certainly in that Florida side, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's really been hit hard. So as Jan said, stay safe, thinking of you all. Anne is saying perfect blah weather for crafting here all day. Yeah, it's right enough. Yeah, it's blah weather. Same here.
Yeah.
If I wasn't here,
Yeah.
I would be at home,
Yeah.
just crafting away.
It gets a bit dull though, doesn't it, sometimes? I have to rely, I've got one of the daylight lamps over my craft desk, but they're not the same as actual daylight. They're
no.
supposed to be, but I don't think they're actually the same as a daylight itself. But very gloomy here at the minute, isn't it?
Very,
yeah,
very
by
gloomy.
3:30 we need the lights on at home. I don't know about you guys.
I know, depending on how our shows work, sometimes we're driving here in the dark and then
Yeah.
we're driving home in the dark as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
I know I'm not too bad because I'm only, 10, 15 minutes away, but for yourselves and that and anyone
Well, I
else
was
that
just thinking if
travels,
it stays this windy, I might get home in half the time tonight.
maybe. But I tell you who does have the right idea, and that's our Lily. Lily is saying, evening you lovely too, and all our CCTV family.
Oh, hi,
I'm
Lily.
watching along in my craft room and ready for some bargains.
Bless her. I think she lives in that craft room, our Lily,
does.
doesn't she?
She's another one on the team that's always having parcels delivered here as well.
Yep.
Yeah, get it from the warehouse. They just drop them off and then we take them home. Lot of love and congratulations to yourself, Jan, on that award. That's
Oh, thanks, guys.
Roseanne, we've got Lauren, we've got Mary, Antoinette, and also a lot of people saying thank you again for Wake Up Call this morning. Loved your demos, loved your tips. What I would say, if you didn't see it afterwards, go back and watch what Jan was showing you earlier.
Yeah, we're going to try and sneak a few bits in this show as well. So I might just talk through some of the ones I did this morning.
Sounds
and I
good.
have got some other bits and pieces. So we're going to sneak a few of those little tips and tricks in for you.
Excellent,
Yeah.
sounds good to me. Right, let's have a look at our acrylic paint markers here. Now, these were really, really busy earlier on this morning. Now, with our acrylic markers, these are essential. So you're going to be getting your gold, your silver, your black, and your white. Now, once again, earlier on in Wake Up Call, Jan went over these in great detail. These are phenomenal. The coverage that you get when it comes to these pens are absolutely exquisite. You don't just have to, of course, use them on your cardstock or paper. Jan was showing you some examples as to how you can be using them. One of the many ways that people were not necessarily using these ones, other acrylic markers, but you can do it with ours as well, is during lockdown and throughout that horrible period, what many were doing were finding stones out on their walks, their travels. They were then giving them a little bit of decoration, whether it was with the kids or the grandkids, and then they were just leaving them, take photos, share them on social media. However, that's not the only thing. You can start to go in, you can do colouring in with them, but then what you can also do is go onto so many different materials. For instance, glass, that's just one of absolute many. You do have that 4 colours, as I say. You've got the gold, you've got the black, you've got the silver. And as we were saying this morning, Jan, that white, that is just a ridiculously good white because it's pure.
Let me just see if I can find
white.
the... Where's the bit that I wrote on this morning? There we go,
You
look.
did, didn't you?
That's what I wrote. I did the colours out this morning. Obviously, the black on black's not so easy to see. But just look at the coverage with that white one. That was just straight from the pen written on there. Then we had the silver and then we had the gold. Really nice, opaque, creamy sort of ink in there, isn't it? Yeah. Water-based again, so, you can do lots of different techniques with it. And once it's dry, it is waterproof. We established that with the stones. We had a question this morning saying that if it's water-based, if you put them outside, would it not damage the colours? But we said, no, we tried it. I had a look at the one I'd got with me. We put water on it and it didn't agitate the ink at all. So once it's dry, it is actually waterproof there. So they're all non-toxic and everything. With them being a water-based, there's nothing to worry about there. But yeah, that white is terrific, it really is. I know I've got a multitude of white pens at home, lots of different brands, different types, paint pens, those gel pens, all sorts. And I haven't come across one of them that comes out as white as that. So for doing highlights and things on your work, or if you're wanting to do, totally pop something on its head and actually stamp onto black card and colour with the white, you're going to get a really good coverage there with it.
Yeah, the other thing that we found out that you can do is you've done a little demo is, you can draw with them. We, the Royal Way, Jan, you done it with the black, just left it for a moment to dry and you went in with your classic pens afterwards.
Yes, and it
your
didn't
alcohol
budge it,
pens.
yeah.
No budget, nothing whatsoever, so you can still go in and colour afterwards. As I say, it is the 4 colours. £3.99 or £5.49. Again, it is another one that's 58% off. £3.19 or $4.39. That is for your acrylic paint markers. They are a 4-pack. It's your essentials. Of course, they are on the website for you guys in Central Europe as well. You just need to go to .eu. In total, crafterscompanion.co.uk.com or .eu. It's going to be a lovely set for you to start with if you've never tried acrylic markers.
So, we're still under that Spectrum Noir heading. So I think last time I was here, I was busy drawing diagrams because Ben was laughing at me because I'd got the Spectrum Noir as like an umbrella heading. And then we've got lots of divisions off it with the Spectrum Noir range. And this is one of them. We've got the glitter pens here. So these are another water-based medium. And you've got a selection here which are called neon lights, and they are stunning. They are proper bright neon colours. You can see there, the 6 pens in there. There's yellow and green, orange, blue, pink, and then this one's, it looks pink on the plastic, but it's actually purple in there. So again, you've got a really nice bullet nib on those. If I just show you the nib on them again, that will apply the colour. Like with many of our pens that have a nib in them, when they come to you, the nib will be white. So don't think that you've got a faulty set. All the pens need priming, and we usually show you how that works with the pens. In this case, it's just a case of pumping that nib, and you'll see the valve allow that that beautiful glittery colour to come down to the nib there. So these are actually a glitter, a really nice high sort of quality glitter in a water-based suspension. So again, that minute you hear that water base, they all play nicely together. So if you particularly like things like the shaving foam technique, things like that, you could actually pump this, get the ink going, and drip this into your shaving foam and actually get really nice sparkly effects with that. That's just one idea that's come into my head. So these again, 50% off. These for the set of 6, we're looking at $3.99 or $5.49, and that's on the 50% off. If you are, oh now then, hang on a second.
It's a different
hang on, fibbing to you. The guys are not keeping up with me. Just sack them in the gallery, honestly. Can't get the staff. Look
Charlotte
at that.
wouldn't do that.
I do apologise. We're looking at $5.99, guys. All right, for the 6 pens, $8.47, and that platinum price again takes them under £5 here in the UK. So $4.79 or $6.78. So we've just done a little swatch with the colours on, and you can just pick up that gorgeous sparkle in there where it hits the light. You've got a really nice sort of density of glitter in there. And then I did my usual trick. I wanted to have a look how they work. So again, we had a look at them on white card, and you can see those colours stand out really nicely on the white card there. And if I tip it, you can just see that sort of sparkle catching the light. And then I tried them again on the black card. And again, although we've not got the same sort of density of colour, you can still see the different shades, and you can also see that gorgeous sparkle in them as well. And then I was just having a little play the other night, and I thought, oh, what better way than to display them than actually show you them in the colour wheel. Now, technically, this one should be red in the colour wheel, but we've got a pink in there. But you've got technically your 3 primary shades, which are your blue, the yellow, would normally be red, but pink does the same job. And then your secondary shades with your orange, your green, and your purple. So you've got a good selection of colours there. And just look at that sparkle. They really have got gorgeous, gorgeous coverage in them. So that one's neon lights, water-based glitter markers, and as I say, that 50% off deal, I'm not sure these prices are going to be back very quickly.
I don't think so. And during birthday event, some of the free gifts, the 2 glitter markers, if you manage to get them that were exclusive to birthday event, this is the set that they're going to complement. This is kind of like the family that they are from. So I've got another good one that you might be tempted with. However, let's just have another quick hello to a few of you. Angela, going back to what I was saying not that long ago, saying the wake-up call tips and techniques are the bomb. They absolutely were. Absolutely were. Mary is saying super prices today in the craft vault. Yeah, we were saying that this morning as well. Couldn't believe it.
Jaw-dropping ones in there, aren't there?
They're really, yeah. absolutely.
I don't think there's much that was over £10, was there?
No, not really.
Not here in the UK.
Quite
yeah.
a few that was even under £5.
Yes, definitely.
You know, like
I remember one starting with a 3. Crazy, crazy.
We've got Kim is saying it's almost dark at 4:30 when I took the dog out for a walk. Rachel's also saying the baby's here watching too at the min. He's sat on my lap. Usually when I'm on this or either side, tends to he'll fall asleep to my tones, Rachel will say.
Oh, I know I got a message from my Vanessa earlier to say that they'd caught some of the early show. So, do you know, as silly as it sounds, my little grandson, my Toby, that's nearly 3, she said last time I was here, they were actually got the TV on and it was the overhead shot. They're Nanny's hands.
Really?
He actually recognised me just from my hands on the overhead before he'd actually seen me.
Seen you, yeah.
I was like, wow, that's quite impressive. So I don't know whether it was the jewellery or whether it was the ink that he'd seen, but he knew they were Nanny's hands. I'm like, wow.
Wow.
2 3/4 years old.
And knows.
Bless him.
Absolutely knows. Got a couple of questions. So what we'll do, like I done earlier on this morning, I'll let a few of them just build up and then we'll ask a few of them all at once, if that's okay with you, Jan.
Absolutely.
Right, we're going to have a look at some aqua markers here. Another one. I'm going to stop saying this is another one that was popular this morning because they were
all
established
at that price.
At the price. We've got our aqua markers. Now this is the primary set. Now with aqua markers, what basically means you're going to be able to draw out lots of different shades yourself. You're going to create your own colours by mixing as well. Now 12 pack here, I'm going to turn it around so you get another good idea as to the colours you are going to get. I'm going to show you our little board as well because all of these are £11.49 or $16.49. Good price, really good price. However, if you are platinum and you are, platinum level, it does mean that you're going to come down to under £10, $9.19 or $13.19. That is for 12 of your aqua markers. And as I said a moment ago, I know, yes, there's 12 of them, but by being able to create your own colours as well, mix your own colours, blend your own colours, blend them out. I mean, for this one here, we could have kept going and going and going and going by blending them out. And you're going to get so many different shades. And there really is lots and lots of techniques you can do with your aqua markers.
There is, yeah. I mean, people that paint with watercolour, you can actually use these in that manner to actually do watercolour painting, which I aspire to. I'm not an artist. As opposed to all the different, techniques that we show you that you can do with them, as well as simply just colouring. If you like a watercolour base, you can actually colour direct to paper with them. So, yeah, so many different ways. The water element opens up a world of sort of techniques, yeah. The alcohol tends to be a little bit more of a precision colouring item, but anything water-based, and they all play together. So your aqua markers, my glitter markers, they would all play nicely together because they've got that water as a base in them.
And also, as we talked about earlier on, because we were just talking about sparkle there a moment ago, we did have, if we still got them in stock, Johnny, the clear overlays. They're a good one to use as an alternative to a paintbrush or a water brush because you get that gorgeous sparkle just coming through. So they are on the website. I think we'll maybe just show you them later on in the show. Shop the day across on our website. Now we're going from water base and we're going to go to Jan, where we're going to be having a look at alcohol base.
Yeah, so like I said, the alcohol sort of colouring is at the opposite side of the scale from the water colouring. It's a completely different system, and you've got the coloured pigments suspended in an alcohol base this time. So when you're colouring with them, it will go on slightly darker, and as the alcohol evaporates, you will get a slight, just a touch lighter finish with them. So on this one, we're bringing you a set of 12 of the Illustrator markers, and their main feature is that lovely bullet nib. And then on the other end of the pen, obviously we've turned it round here, you've got that gorgeous Japanese brush nib. Now I know Leanne did a lot of work with this nib to get it absolutely tip-top perfect to do the job that we want it to do. We've got 12 different colours again in here, and these are all part of the landscape collection. So you can see you've got blues and greys in there for skies, you've got green, you've got sort of like mountain colours, you've got a yellow in there for the sunshine. Again, if I flip it over, you can just see how this goes through the system. Now the alcohol colours do have a name. They also have a code. Now we've actually put you a selection in this one. I know a lot of people collect them as a whole system.
Yeah.
There are lots more colours in there. So just to give you a quick peek inside there, again, they come to you beautifully presented, and like I just want to show you those nibs in here. So quite a fine bullet nib on the Illustrator. I would say probably the finest out of all the alcohol markers. And then again, this one comes into its own with that gorgeous brush nib. So this allows you to do different techniques, not just colouring. Yes, it's got a really fine point that you can get into the tiniest little areas. You might think, oh, it's a big brush nib, that, Jan, but it will do the tiniest little areas just with the end. But you can start doing those flicking techniques to sort of colour things like hair, colour fur on animals, things like that. With the green ones, you can do the flicking up with the grass, that kinds of thing. So yeah, really, really nice set there for you to go with the colours. And again, you know, the idea of this was if you haven't tried any colouring yet, just dipping your toe in and having a go. We're bringing those prices down for you to a really good one today. So for 12 of those today, again, 50% off, £12.49 or $22.47. And again, just look at that platinum prices down under £10 for the UK, $17.98 over in the US. So again, crazy, crazy prices on them today.
They really, really are. And Jan was explaining there a moment ago how you could be using them. The colours are lovely, and maybe it's something that you maybe find that you are loving your tri-blend, you perfected the tri-blend, and you want to try the Illustrators. So another good price. Right, let's have a look at some pencils. So I'm going to go back to Waterbase here. We're going to go in with our Aqua Blend pencils here. Now this is where you're going to get your essential collection. You're going to get 24 of these. Now when I tell you these last such a long time, and I'll go through phases and I use mine a lot, Jan, and you just get so much use out of them.
Absolutely, because again, you don't need a lot of the product, do you? Yeah.
You really, really don't. It's another one as well where it is obviously pencil, as it's Aqua Blend pencils, but because it is water-based as well, you're going to be able to create your different techniques. Straight off the top of my head, the one that I love doing is like the shaving, like shaving the nib of the pencil. And then it's very much, if you do that, it's very much like, thingy powders. Pixie powders.
Yes, that sort of firework
effect.
burst, isn't it? Yeah, the colours, yeah.
So if you were unsure what exactly do you mean by the end of the pencils, it gives you that effect, just scraping them off, little craft knife or something, your spritz tool. But the fact you're getting the 24 of them, the essential ones, $12.49 or $14.97. But if you are platinum, it does come down to $9.99 or $11.98. Under £10 platinum price for a full pack of your Aqua Blend pencils. Once again, if you refer back to the Aqua Blend pens, it means that you're able to draw that colour out, you're able to blend together. You're going to be able to complement them when it comes to other colour mediums, but then think about your backgrounds as well. You don't always necessarily, and you picked up this point this morning, Jan, you don't always have to use the colour mediums to colour with. There's many different things you can do as well.
Absolutely,
technique based or that, just overlaying just slightly different things. As we'd say now, which incidentally I should have said at the start, our YouTube is back up and running, our original YouTube. So if you've been having issues, thankfully it's not been our issue here, but it is up and running. You can go back, Colour Me Happy's masterclasses. Type in, for instance, Aqua Blend pencils or title of any collection. You're going to find so many hours of ideas and tuitions. But that one there is another cracking one at $9.99 or $11.98. Love that.
Right, now then, my next one, Craig, would play very nicely with what you've just had over there. And this would make all your colours over there sparkly.
Sparkle.
So not only can you actually have that lovely set of matte colours that Craig had, if you use them in conjunction with this one, you can actually turn them into sparkly colours. So you've got options there. So this is the Spectrum Noir Clear Overlay Sparkle Pen. So this is clear. Doesn't have any colour, any pigmentation in it. It's just a clear water-based suspension with that really sort of fine glitter in it. So I've got my actual one out here that I use, and it comes as a set of 3, so they're all the same, 3 clear ones. And again, this is one of the ones that I mean, the brush still looks clear at the beginning here, but it is actually not got any sparkle on when it comes to you. They come, as you can see in the packet here, they've got a little yellow cuff across the middle of them because the barrel's actually sealed while they're packaged for safety reasons, obviously. You don't want that gorgeous lush glitter getting out. So when you get them, it's just a case of unscrewing them in the middle, take the top off and remove that yellow cuff. That bit's rubbish, you don't need to keep that bit. And then when you put this one back on and tighten it up, there's a little pin in here that punctures the barrel and allows that goodness to sort of start moving. And then all we would suggest once you've done that is to give them a really, really good shake. And again, going back to something that I picked up on this morning about always storing the pens horizontally, and any of my pens, anything that's got Spectrum Noir name on it, they're all stored horizontally. But glitter's heavier than water, so it will settle in your pen. So if you've got them stored horizontally, the glitter's going to sink to the bottom of that suspension. So that big shake to wake them up, and then just when you've got them at home, when they're brand new, on the side of your pen it just says push. So if you give that a little push or a little squeeze, it will open the valve and allow that goodness to come down through your nib. Little bit of a backwards and forwards on your paper and it's good to go. And like Craig's just said, these work really, really well as a water brush with some of your other watercolour mediums. So the aqua markers, the aqua blend pencils, things like that, turns them into a sparkly finished medium. So 3 of those in there for you today, 3-piece set in 1 packet, and that comes to you at £6.49 or $9.49. Or again, platinum price £5.19 or £7.59. And don't forget that platinum price is the same discount as if you're brand new to us today and you're just signing up to Club Inspire. For your very first order, we will honour that 20% discount, so you're going to get that lower price. Even though it says platinum price, it will be like a first time purchase price as well. So if you're joining us and you're making a first purchase today, you can enjoy that lower price as well. Absolutely, sort of no-brainer with them.
Really isn't going to be using them so much. We have got where's my comments gone? They've just disappeared. There we go. Angela's saying, putting my marker trays together and looking at my tri-blend and aqua inventory. Lol, good show tonight for me now. Absolutely it is, yeah. If you want to stock up on anything to pop into your Spectrum Noir trays, you can absolutely do that. We've got Marcel saying, my souvenir from my last camping trip was a rock I picked up, painted it with acrylic markers. I had a little crafty moment in the woods and have a memento from my trip. That's lovely, isn't it?
Absolutely lovely, yeah. You
Really
could sort of date it and everything, couldn't you, as to when you were there as a keepsake.
You could, yeah.
Fabulous.
Such a lovely memento to remind you of your trip. Rosalind is saying that's a great price for the markers. It absolutely is. Fred171 saying, love Craig's jacket, looks warm and cuddly. The amount of people that thinks it's a Crafter's Companion fleece, it's not. It's just a very inexpensive one off of that place where you can prime stuff. So it's, yeah, just plain purple, plain purple. That's, no, there's no hoodie on it, Johnny, no hoodie. Oh, I do have a Crafter's hoodie, Johnny, yeah, black one. Do have a black one, but no, this one isn't, just an expensive purple fleece, and it is very warm because we were a bit chilly earlier on, weren't we?
It just, yeah, I think it was when that wind started, didn't it? It just sort of temperature dropped a little bit. But
between that and Tracy putting on the aircon, between the two of them together, yeah, two of them together made us a bit chilly. Right, we're going to have a look at the art liners now. There was one obviously in your discovery kit earlier on that Jan went over and explained. So I know that Jan's got them as well. So this is how they're going to come to you. $6.49 or $8.99. You're saving of 50%. £5.19 or $7.19. Once again, I know Jan's going to go over these in a second, but you do get your brush, 0.8, 0.5, 0.3, 0.1 and 0.05. This one as well, Jan, incredible for your 6 art liners at, well, just over £5 UK.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy price. I know when we went through the product list for the show, we were just sort of like jaws on the floor because, yeah, it doesn't come round very often, this. And that's why we've just picked certain products for you to try and give you a taster. Yes. So particularly those people just starting their journey with colour, it's a great way to try them and see which ones you like. Those of you that are already on your journey, it's a fantastic way of stocking up. Yes, or as like I said, perfect for gifts at this price and things like that. Certainly the right time of year. So what we were saying about these earlier then, they're all, well, this particular set are all black. There are some coloured ones available, but we don't have them on the show. So they would be on the website and they would be normal price plus your club discount. But the ones that we've picked today are the black set. And they're almost like, we call them art liners. They're like an outline marker, for want of a better way. Lots and lots of different tips and tricks. And again, if you have, like Craig said, if you have a look on the YouTube channels and just pop in the art liners, it'll bring you up lots of previous shows that we've done with them. But what I wanted to show you was the actual nibs on them. So in this particular set, the 0.05 is literally the finest one in the set there. Yeah. Really, really fine. And then as you go up the numbers, there's not a massive difference, but you can see that that line with that, and I'm not altering the pressure, I'm literally just going through the same one. But can you see how we've got that different width in them? Again, we're going to go thicker with that one. I think I got this one out of order actually. And then the 0.8, thicker again.
Gosh, yeah.
Yep. So depending on what you're doing, and when I like to do my Zentangle stuff, obviously the thick and thin lines really come in, because the thick one, I use the 0.8 a lot for outlining, but then inside, when you're doing the actual work, the doodling work inside it, you know, to go back to these narrower ones, you can get some real nice effects. And then on top of that, you get this gorgeous, gorgeous brush nib again. So again, you've got a completely different aspect with this one. And again, if you like to do that sort of calligraphy work where those downstrokes are thicker and the upstrokes are the thinner one, you can actually start and bring this in. It's like, I'm not the best at this. I used to do calligraphy a long time ago.
Did you really?
Yeah, I had, you know, those magazines that you can buy where they're like installments.
Yeah.
I started with one of those and I got loads of stuff. But they're so expensive because, like you say, you know, you might still be at it now. So I only did a few of them, and I have got some of the bits and pieces at home. But the idea is that the downstrokes are the thicker strokes and the upstrokes are the thinner ones. But this allows you, just by adding different pressure on there, to actually bring in that sort of different way of working with them. So again, and once these are dry, you've got a permanent ink here. So once it's actually set and it's dry, although they're a water-based product, once it's set and dry, it's permanent. So you can then go over the top of these with all your other mediums and that line art won't move. So like I said earlier, if you've stamped something out and you didn't quite get all of it and you haven't got the magnetic platform to overstamp with, these are great. You can just choose the right thickness and you can just touch up, you know, where you perhaps got a little gap in it, you can just touch it up and they will work with your colouring mediums as well. So yeah, and I mean, even just writing, I mean, I like to use the 0.8 just for writing with as well. I've lost it now, where's it gone? Do you know, it's going to be the last one I pick up, isn't it? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, that thicker one is just really nice. Just to actually write with, you know, if you wanted to do a letter or anything like that, it's a nice weight, a nice sort of thickness of nib to write with. So yeah, lots and lots and lots. And the fact again that those, I mean, £5.19 on platinum. Come on, guys, that's less than £1 a pen, isn't it?
It is.
You wouldn't be able to buy them like that in the shop, honestly.
Not at all.
So again, they come to you all packaged nicely. As I say, would make a lovely gift for somebody as well. Yeah.
You do realise what you've just done there?
What did I do?
With your handwriting. You know what happened this morning when you were doing your handwriting? So many comments saying, love Jan's handwriting.
Oh, right.
It's going to happen again. Rachel,
and I only did it really quick there. I've not done my bestest
Rachel,
handwriting.
There'll be an influx of comments saying,
what I used
Jan's
to teach
writing.
at school was actually what we call cursive writing. So if we actually do our Craig, we had the capital letters, and then we taught the children, they all led in with a... So it was all joined
up.
Oh, little mistake at the end there, but yeah. So they'd all got those sort of, there is a name for them and I forget now, that lead in with the, so the idea is that your pen stays on the paper at all times. So obviously other than your capital letters, it all stays on the paper. So again, you've got that. and it doesn't come off until you get to the end. So I did hours and hours and hours, and I love writing anyway. Love writing. Like I said earlier, I would much rather write someone a handwritten letter than send an email any day.
Yeah, I can see that.
I write letters to my little Toby and put them in the post. He's fascinated because where they live at the minute, they've got one of those proper mailboxes outside. It's not, they've got one on the door, but they've got gates on the bottom of the drive, so they've got a mailbox. Oh, and he loves getting the mail out of the box. And then, of course, if it's got his name on, oh, the excitement is unreal. So, yeah, I keep writing him little notes or making him a little card.
That's lovely.
Sending them to go in the mailbox, and, oh, he's in his elements, bless him. He loves it, yeah.
Funny enough, actually, you saying it, so there's just a couple of questions here. One of them from Nefertiti, and it's actually, a few people have just said the same. How lovely it is to see Jan, wondering how are the beautiful grandbabies. I recently had twins, and they're just a few months old. So a few people just asking, you know, how is everyone?
Do you know, I'm gonna do a naughty. I'm gonna do a naughty just for you guys. It's only a very quick. Just hope she's not watching, but she sent me the most gorgeous photo earlier, so we'll get our George to come and have a look.
Look at
That's my little grandbaby. So I've got Toby with the blonde hair, and then our little Alfie that's joined the family there. So it's just a very quick one there, okay, just especially for you guys. But yes, absolutely love being, well, become nanny rather than nana, but I say I don't mind.
You don't mind?
I don't mind.
You don't mind.
Where are you, nanny? He comes into the house. Where are you, nanny? I can't find you.
Oh,
He loves playing hide and seek at the minute, Toby. He's like, he goes and hides, and if he can't see you, that's it. So he'll be stood behind the curtains, and his little feet stuck out the bottom.
Adorable.
But because he can't see you, he thinks he's hidden. Yeah, it's just absolutely amazing. So we spent hours just playing hide and seek. Yeah.
Oh, that's so good. So
Love
lovely.
it. So when I'm not here, that's what I'm busy
That's
doing,
what you're
you see,
doing.
guys. I'm busy playing with the grandbabies.
Playing hide and seek. Playing hide and seek. Suzanne was actually asking, just going back to the acrylic pens, and I've never actually thought of this because you'll have seen I done like an Insta story the other day with pens, and I used the white gesso, mix it with a bit of water and done flicking. And ask him, can we use the acrylic pens for the splatter kind of effect, where you kind of tap the side of the pen over the paper? Hope that makes sense.
Absolutely.
You can't you?
Yeah, if you get that, what have I done? Did I have mine here? Where's we go? Yeah, there they are. If you get that that action going with them, let me just grab my piece of paper back again.
I never thought about using my pens.
I like to be able to show you these things. So yeah, all you need to do with the nib is just press it down onto here, and it'll actually encourage that paint to come through. I'm just going to give it a little shake and get it actually moving. And then literally, if I use one of the other pens on top of it there, you're not going to get the same amount. But yes,
But you are,
you can do the splattering technique. I don't know, it's only very, very light there. You can just see.
But it still works.
Yeah, but it does still work.
does.
So yeah, the white one would be excellent for that.
It really, really will be. Thank you for that one, Suzanne, because even I hadn't thought of that. Yeah. We've got one more for now. Emma on Facebook saying, my glitter pens are... My glitter pens are stored upright in a cup. Is that right?
Right, there's nothing wrong with it, all right? It's not against the rules, and I'll explain why we prefer to pop them on their side with any of the pens. If I bring the glitter pens back in, like I said to you, you've got in the barrel there, you've got a water-based suspension with all that lovely glitter in. So if you store them like this in a glass jar, absolutely fine. We're not saying don't do that, but what happens is, like I said earlier, same with the overlay pens, because the glitter's heavier than the water, all the glitter's going to go down to the bottom of the pen. So when you start to next use it, it might take a little while to agitate that glitter. You'll have to give it a really, really good shake and get that ball. You can hear the ball bearing in there, just to actually get that glitter agitated again. By keeping them horizontal, Yeah, you're getting the glitter go into the bottom of the barrel, so there's more movement there to be able to agitate it. I mean, it may be that you've got your container or whatever's in them, just lay the container on its side.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's sort of got the same idea then. You know, if you've got them all together, keeping them all together is great, but just lay the container on its side so that they're horizontal. It is the best way, and it is what we actually sort of suggest for you, but by no means is it law. No. So if you want to keep them upright and you're happy to do that, shaking and agitate them, it's not really a problem.
It's not. It's not, absolutely.
We're not going to get the glitter police out on you.
Definitely not. We might get them if you don't start using them a lot. We'll send the glitter police round for that, that is for sure. We're just going to wait to take a little break just in a moment for you to check out. Rachel is saying the amount of love hearts that have come through from the photo that you've just shown. So massive thank you.
Just hope she wasn't watching.
Absolutely adorable. Yeah, baskets bulging. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that little break for you to check out, and earlier on in Wake Up Call as well as within this show, myself and Jan have been talking about Club Inspire. If you're new to us or you're thinking now's the time to join, have a look at this. Sarah will tell you all about it.
Welcome to Club Inspire, the crafters' companion community where you can feed your crafty obsession. Join our fantastic loyalty club today and receive 20% off your first order. We'll also give you 250 points to help get you started. Other benefits of joining Club Inspire include exclusive special offers and discounts for Club Inspire members only, exclusive sneak peek previews of brand new product launches, and of course the Club Inspire community group on Facebook, where you can access exclusive content such as downloads, offers and inspiration, and of course you can chat and share your makes with other members. You'll receive 1 point for every pound, dollar or euro you spend, and the more points you receive, the more benefits you'll unlock. So what are you waiting for? Sign up, join the club and start rewarding yourself today.
We get to know people from places and walks of life that we wouldn't come across in our everyday life if it wasn't for Crafters TV and doing what we do.
I got so many lovely comments from people when I started doing the presenting, and it was just really such a lovely feeling. And it's nice that people keep messaging in. You know, we see the same people. We know you can build up that kind of relationship with those people. So it's just the fact that people like what we do and they're pleased. And I do love it when people send us photographs of the items that they've made.
We talk about customers, but really they go in as a customer, come out as a friend. The support that I get is amazing. The messages I get are amazing.
Me personally, it is personal interaction. I've never had the best of health. I've always been open about that with our viewers at Crafters TV. So many people are in the same situation as me health-wise. Other people have got a completely different health issues. They understand and they relate to what I'm going through, what others are going through. So whether we interact on a crafting basis or whether we interact on a health basis, a personal basis, we're all there to support one another. It is incredible.
The reaction of viewers when they come to meet us is worth all of the early mornings when we have to get up for our early morning shows.
Some of the customers come on as craft ambassadors and things like that, craft along with us, and being able to actually chat with them on air. I love it. I really love that connection with them.
We've had lots of shows where we've done like craft alongs, especially where we've had viewers craft along with us. We had a particular viewer, Joy, who joined us once before, and she literally made me cry on air, and Joe, because the things she said about us, it really was quite humbling that there are people out there that watch us and invite us into their living rooms and really treat us like family.
Here at Crafters TV, it couldn't be easier to get your hands on the latest crafty must-haves. Leave the hard work to us while you shop from the comfort of your own living room. Head to the Crafters Companion website to see our full crafty range, or hit the Shop the Day button to see all the new and exciting products featuring on Crafters TV. Once you've filled your cart, leave it to us to get your crafty goodies to you in super quick time, so you can get on with being creative. Crafters Companion, making crafty shopping a breeze.
And I can rest assure you the warehouse team do not throw your packages about like myself and Ben was doing. We were just having a little bit too much fun that day. I was just saying to Jan, actually, we filmed that 2 days before I had my operation.
Oh, that's
where I took
crazy,
a little
isn't
bit
it?
of time off. Scary how time
It is.
flies, doesn't it? Really, really scary. I wish I had some of these to take with me when I was in the hospital. I never thought that would have been great. Really, really good. Certainly with what you were showing earlier, the Discovery Kit, that would have been.
Yeah, little
Things
bit
like
of colouring.
that. Things like that would have been good.
Yeah.
Rosalind on Facebook is saying, I've also used the glitter markers on MDF board. What's
Yep.
great to highlight elements. It's another good idea.
Both the glitter markers and the paint markers, the acrylic paint markers, will go straight onto MDF. You don't even have to prime it with anything.
No.
They'll just go total coverage on there.
They really, really do. All these things as well. And if you're unsure, maybe we're not live at the time and you're wondering, give it a little shot.
Yeah.
What's the worst that's going to happen? Maybe on the back of your card or your project or your board, something like that. If you're really unsure, contact our customer service or us via our social media. Other than that, just give it a little shot.
Yeah.
See how it works. But here we go. We're going to be having a look at the Tricolour Aquas. And this is actually, Jan's going to do a little demo just in a moment. This one being the 3-piece. So you've got your 3 pens, but you are getting your 9 colours. Essential neutrals. Your $4.99 or $7.49. Platinum price comes to under £4, £3.99 or $5.99. Now these colours have been put together to complement each other. So you Tricolour, you're familiar with the Tri-Blend alcohol pens, whereas usually you would have a light, a medium and a dark. These colours have been put together by the Spectrum Noir team so that they complement beautifully. So you are going to get your sepia on one side, you're going to get your tan in the other, and you're going to get your burgundy in the opposite side. All the colours together are these ones just here. So you are going to be getting, if we start at this side here, the chestnut, you're going to get the desert, you're going to get the topaz, then you're going to get burgundy, tan, and you're going to get sepia, slate, flint, and bark. As you can see as well, blending those colours out because they are water-based as well. So if you've not tried anything, not even our aqua pens, anything that's water-based, $3.99 or $5.99 for a platinum. So this is going to be this is the one that I would suggest, aqua range, nice one to start with.
Agree. And again, really nice sort of autumnal colours for this time of year, isn't it? I've just brought a couple of samples in just to show you done with those particular colours. So again, I've got a little kitty here, which is in one of our stamp ranges that's just been made into an easel card there. So you can just see that one. So again, using those pens to make the background there, you can just see that watercolour background and also use direct to the paper to colour with. And again, I just love the fact that it's got that sort of like sepia look to it. Some of the colours in there, I mean, one of them's actually called sepia, but just blending those browns together, you get that real sort of vintage feel for it. So again, done with a combination of direct to paper there and using it with a brush, either a water brush or a paint brush.
Absolutely.
So yeah, you can get some really nice effects from it. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to show, if you were watching this morning, I apologise because you saw this demo, but people were very taken with it. So for the benefit for anybody that's joining us for this 6 p.m. show, I'm actually going to repeat it, and it's a really, really easy one to do. So I've actually got my set of Tricolour markers there, the same set that Craig's just showed you with the colours in there. I'm not going to use the greys for this particular demo. I'm going to use 3 colours out of the 6 that I've got left. And what I've got is a piece of watercolour card, and this is crucial with any of your watercolour mediums. This card's designed to absorb liquid, whether that be your colour, your water, your glitter, whatever it is you're working with, and you'll find that you'll get better results with it, as opposed to a smooth cardstock for your alcohol colouring. So again, as I say, you've got those sort of opposite sides. And then I've got a little tiny piece of plastic. These are actually the wallets that you can store documents in. I call them Polly Pockets. So you get an A4 size that you can drop your documents in. All I've done is cut them open, and I just want one thin piece of it. So the other side of it is at home, ready to do a different technique with. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop that over the top of my piece of card so I can see roughly where I'm working. And I'm going to apply the colour direct to the plastic. And the reason I've popped it over the card is just to give me an idea of where I want to work. It's almost like, you know, where you were going to sort of draw onto the cardstock. So I've gone with the topaz, which is a really nice, rich, yeah, it'd be great for sort of sunflower yellow, that one, wouldn't it? I'm going to flick it over and use the sepia one, which is, oh no, sorry, this one's chestnut.
Okay.
So yeah, you've got that nice sort of shade of brown. They're not quite touching in the middle there. And then I love, absolutely love the burgundy in this one. You've got that really rich red in there. So again, just applying the colour to the plastic to start off with. And then I've actually got a little pipette, which you can get these online if you don't have them. If you had our sparkle pots or any of the aquatint pots, these actually came with them, and I just keep all mine as a set together. And then it does work better with clear water, but I've still got my water from earlier that's slightly tinted, but it will do the same job. So I'm going to move the plastic out of the way, and straight onto the card here, I'm actually going to pop some little drops of water. So where I want that design to go, I'm just going to squeeze out gently some little, and that water will just sit there on the top of your card until you give it some instructions, until you tell it to do something else. It's just going to sit on the card and wait for you to decide what you want to do with it. So it doesn't matter how many, roughly the size of the piece that I'm actually going to end up with. And then I'm going to turn this over and invert it so the ink is now actually going to come into contact with that water. Lay it down in the middle, and you can see straight away that the ink starts to react with that water. So just by pushing it around, I can close the gaps there. I can push a little bit of red into the yellow there. I can actually bring this one over, and you can see how it fills those gaps. Just spread it about a little bit. This, it'll go, depending on how much water you use, depends on how far you can spread it on your piece of cardstock.
That's good to know.
So the less water, the less spread, the more water. You can see how, just keep pushing this, it's still going,
it just goes, doesn't
and
it?
going and going, yeah? And then when you're happy with it, we're just going to peel that piece back, and it leaves the most amazing background.
It does.
Absolutely. And again, you know, where you've got that little bit that's come off the edge, you can have a play with it, you can move it round. And then I've got my heat tool, I think, yep, we're turned on, we're good. And just to dry it off there and seal that bit then. So once it's dry, if we add water to it again, it will re-agitate that ink, and that's the beauty of working with watercolour products. If I dry this totally with my heat tool, the minute I give water to it again, it will start and reactivate that ink. So I could actually do extra things with it if I wished. But what I want to do with this one, what we did earlier, was just do a little bit of splattering at the same time. So I've got that top layer nice and dry.
Okay.
And then I'm going to pop the same three colours. We just need a little bit, either straight onto your mat, or if you're using a craft mat, or it could be a piece of acetate, anything that's non-porous, your colours will just sit there and wait to be played with nicely. So I've just popped a little bit out on the mat. You can use any brush for this particular technique, but I've actually got like a little, it's called a fan brush, but it's great for the splattering technique. And again, I'm just going to bring that water back, wet the brush, pick up the respective colour. So I'm just going to load that brush with the yellow, and then just round the edge where the yellow is, we're going to pop that one, give it a clean, and then I've got the tan one at this side. So again, load that brush up with the colour, and I'm splattering it on the card and on top of the actual colour that we used to start with. And then again, load the red one up.
So effective.
And bring that one
Look at that.
on the bottom there. So again, let me just grab, I had some, there it is. I'm going to say I got a piece of tissue out ready, just to get rid of that excess off here. And because it's just water-based, it will just come off your plastic, so you can keep that piece and use it again And again, if you're wanting to batch make the backgrounds, it will work with any of those watercolours. And then again, just to dry it off, what happens now is we've got the coloured splats in the background there, but where it's actually gone over the colour that we already laid down, you're going to start and get that sort of wicking going on, so it starts moving the colour and actually bleaching out spaces, like when we flick water at it. So again, just to give that a little dry.
You sure it's on? You sure it's on?
It is on, guys, it is on. Do you know, it's never going to get old, this,
No,
is
it's
it?
not, is it?
How long can we keep it going for? You wouldn't believe how excited producer Johnny gets without this.
Doesn't he?
Honestly, I daren't not come without it now, because he'd be really sad. He gets very excited when I tell him I've got the heat tool to do a demo with.
Yeah, it's
See,
so
small
good.
things and all that.
So good.
So again, it's not completely dry around the edges, but you get the idea there. If we have a little look at that now, just move that one out of the way, you can see how we've got that lovely colour. You've got the splats round the edge, but then in the centre there, you can just see where it started moving the ink and actually creating those lovely little sort of blotches that we're more used to when we flick water at it. And then all I did, I actually went through my stamps and I thought I knew exactly which ones I wanted. I'd got the chalkboard set, which are great, and just applying that over the top. And all I've done is just add a couple of little gems on there as well, stamped in black ink, and that is literally that one, you know, just trimmed up.
So good.
So this could be the front of your card, it could be an invitation. I know you said earlier it would make a good masculine card. So again, depending on what colourway you use with it, it's so easy to do. As long as this is dry, and then I used my quick dry black Harmony ink to actually stamp over the top of it, and it works perfectly. So yeah, just a little idea for you with those pens that isn't actually sort of colouring as such. Yeah?
You've done it again.
Done it again.
Done it again. I did. I know you said at the start you apologise for anyone that had seen it earlier on. Worthwhile seeing it again. Those that have seen it, love seeing it again. Those that didn't see it, the comments have just gone bonkers.
Oh, bless.
Mary is saying, love that background, Jan. Beautiful. Fall, perfect for fall and Thanksgiving, absolutely is.
Yes.
Flick69 also got a question, but saying, fab technique, Jan, you rock. That is just two of many that are all still coming.
See, it doesn't
in
have to
thick
be
and
a
fast.
background either. I'm just thinking Thanksgiving. Can you imagine if you've got any leaf die cuts? You could actually die cut that out now.
Yeah.
And you've got that lovely sort of mingling of
blessing.
colours. Pardon?
Autumn blessings.
Yep, absolutely.
good, wouldn't
And
it?
actually die cut the leaves out of it once you've done it. You could do a bigger area. Same technique, just fill the card with water and do a bigger area and die cut your leaves out of it. You're going to get that lovely sort of mixture of colours, and also where that water technique's in there as well, just to give you, be brilliant for die cutting. Yeah.
Just while you were touching upon, obviously, the aqua pens, we've got Maricel is saying, when you're colouring direct to paper with the aqua markers, do you wet the paper first?
It depends what technique you want, what sort of finished example you want. There's two different ways of doing it. Let me just grab some watercolour paper. I think we've got some over there, yep. So, for example, if you pop your colour down first, so let's have a look at one of those greys. The bark one's a lovely, nice, warm grey. My water's seen better days because it's got some colour in it now, but you'll get the idea. So if we do it first onto the cardstock, and then add the water, you can see how that will blend.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, out. And like Craig said, you know, the more you blend, the lighter it's going to get. Yeah. If you put water down first, and again, what I'm going to do this time is just put little dabs of it down rather than a big area. And then if you actually pop the colour into here, it'll start and wick again into that. If I pop a little bit on here rather than going direct, I tend to work better with it from the, but again, when you sort of pop it in here, it'll start and wick into the watercolour. Wherever you've put water, you can go onto the card where there isn't water, but the minute that you've got water on there, it sort of almost shows it where to go. So for example, if I did a whole line of it here and then pop the colour into it, can you see how it travels?
Travels, doesn't it?
It's actually moving. So wherever that water is, it will actually start travelling down where you've laid it. So for example, if you're wanting to do something like a sunburst, you could actually do the rays of the sun with the water first, then drop the yellow colour into it, and it sort of wicks out into where that water is. So have a play. All I would suggest is have a play with them. You know, watercolour markers, they're made to work with water. As I say, if all you want to do is literally colour in onto a piece of, you know, card or a stamped image, they will work directly onto your card as a colouring medium. You know, so at its basic level, yes, you can go direct to paper. You know, I'm not the best artist in the world, but you can see we've got a little bit of a flower going on there. So yeah, direct to paper. But I just love everything else that you can do with them the minute you hear that something's a water-based product. So like I said, you've got this lovely gradation here where you sort of wick it out with the water. You know, you can make, if we did other colours with it, if I actually pop some of the red down as well, you can make just backgrounds just by adding.
So you can look at that. So nice.
You know, just pop, you could just literally cover your page like so. Yeah?
Absolutely, you can.
Or, you know, you could put the water down. If you spritz it, you're going to get a different effect. So we've got the little mini spritzers on the show today. So again, popping some colour down and then spritzing it is going to give you, you know, a completely different look again. So it is, all I would suggest is get some watercolour card and have a play. You know, it's a piece of card at the end of the day. You know, you're not wasting a fortune just on, we give, the watercolour card comes in packs of 15 A4 sheets. So pop it in half, have a little play and just see what the products will do. There is no right or wrong really. And that's how I've learned. I've just sort of thought, oh, what about such and such? Like we had the question earlier about could you put the acrylic markers down and then use them with the alcohol pens? We tried it. Yes, you can. You know, if it doesn't work, it's a bit of cardstock that you've wasted, that's
Absolutely.
all. Yeah.
True. Really is true.
So don't be afraid to try something. The only thing that I wouldn't do, and this is worth knowing, is actually take the water to the nib of your brush. So I would never take the water to the nib.
Right, okay.
Just to protect that beautiful Japanese nib in there, I would never go onto that nib with water. Having said that, with the Aqua Blend pencils, you can pick the colour up from the nib with the brush.
Yeah.
So they behave slightly differently. But with the pen, I wouldn't actually put water because you're diluting the ink that's in the nib. So I would stay away from that as a no-no with them.
Yeah. Thank you for that one, Jan. A few people are also saying what they really appreciate today with Wake Up Call is this show, that we're just spending that little bit of time. Yes, I know we always answer questions where we can, but we don't always have Jan here. It's nice just to take those few extra minutes or so. It's really good that Johnny and George are allowing us that little bit extra time, because sometimes you want to know, well, how am I going to use the products? It's all great buying them at that great price.
It is, yeah. We put you that great price on, but if you don't know what to do with them, then what's the point in buying? And that's our job. Our job is to show you what you can do. And I do like to look at what else a product can do. So yes, you can colour with any of the colouring mediums. If you want to just get a colouring book, there's lots of adult colouring books out there, and just colour, absolutely fine. I do that sometimes. I just want to sit and colour. It's just a way of chilling out and getting everything out of your head. It's very mindful, very cathartic. And just get on with it. But then I like to think, right, well, I've done that now. What else can this product do? And that's where I like to play.
Yeah.
And I don't call it work, it is play. It's definitely play.
And then we get the benefit of having your knowledge and what you've played and what you've learnt with as well. And that's what everyone is loving. Right, let's have a look at the mystery bag that I've got now. I actually can't believe we've still got it. Well, we've got two. I'm going to show you one just shortly as well. I can't believe either of them are still in stock at the moment, but 80% of this one's gone. Spectrum Noir mystery bag here. So what we have got is we've got 12 of our primary aqua pens. So a lot of those techniques, those demonstrations that Jan has shown you and verbally explained to you, as well as what you'll find on our YouTube, you're going to be able to do that with your aqua pens. So you can see here, you've got the 12 of them. Lovely primary colour, so it's going to work throughout many different occasions or seasons or styles, techniques, that one being your water-based. Then what we're giving you is your tri-blend. This is your coastal blend. 6 pens, but it's actually 18 colours. So what I'm going to do is just briefly, so you may be one of our new viewers, with inside what we've got here, this one is an ice blue. Now you have got the dark on one side, you've got the light in the other side, and then you've got the mid within the middle. So think of it being the classics being 3 separate pens. These are the same, but instead of 3 separate pens, it's all held together once. One, it brings down the cost, and 2, brings down the amount of space that you need to store them. These 2 that I've just shown you there, Tri-Blend and the Aqua pens, that's what you're paying for. That's what's pretty much covering your mystery bag, £40 or $50. Platinum comes down to £32 or $40. What we are going to be giving you for free is a 4-pack of your Illustrator pens. These ones being your delicates. So you've got that lovely ivory, you've got the cream, you've got that peach, you've got that little bit of a baby pink in there. Lovely, lovely colours, alcohol-based when it comes to these ones. We're going to give you your 3-pack of your sparkle pens. Now think of the way Jan explained the clear sparkle overlay. You would start to use them in the same way, yellow band, etc., etc., but then you can start to use them in different ways. As to what Jan's shown you earlier, some of the other water-based colour mediums, you can do that with these. We're giving you a full set of your art liners. So this is your 6 art liners in those different size nibs as well. We're going to be giving you a rose gold. So that's your rose gold Midas ink pad. That is included as well. So all these that I've just been going over technically are free. We're going to be giving you a full 4-pack of your spritzing tools. So these are the ones that Jan just touched upon a moment ago about having on the show. These are included for free. We're giving you Vintage Pink Classic pen, and then we're also giving you a full 13-inch by 19-inch craft mat that you can, if you want, do what I do what Jan does as well where needed. You can chop it down if you just need it smaller. All of that is included. So that here is what you're going to be getting for free, but what you are paying for is your Aqua pens and your Tri-Blend pens. £40, $50, or Platinum, £32 or $40. Lovely little starter kit, gift-giving kit, Secret Santa, craft kit sort of kit, so you can dish it out if you want. That's a really good one, but it would work well with maybe another bag we might have.
Well, you never know. I would have been lonely over here without my own mystery bag. Not much mystery going on because we're going to show you, but this is the one that Leanne had on her cartload last night. And how much have we got left, Johnny? There's less than 10% of this left now, so it's down to the last few of these. So again, you're looking at a £30 value in here or a $40 value. Or if you're platinum, it goes down to £24 or $32. Now, just to show you that value in sort of product, if I just pull out, you can just see that metal work in here. There's a huge chunk of metal in here. And this is actually the spine album. Let me just check. It's 8-inch, the 8-inch spine for the mini albums. So this will die cut the piece that you need to make the spine to then attach pages to. That is the worth, that's the value. If you're to buy this on its own, you'd be paying that £30 or $40. So that's the bit that's worth the money. Everything else that I'm going to show you that's in this bag then is coming as a freebie along with the metal die. So in here then we have got a cut and emboss folder. So you've got those lovely circles on there. So we've got here emboss detail, but where the apertures are, there is a die set into, you can just see a little bit of it peeking out here. There's a die set into the folder, so it cuts at the same time to create, and this has just been inked with some of our Harmony inks here, just to give you an idea. You could cut it out of papers, anything there. So that one's coming for you free of charge. We've also got one of our beautiful spiral pop-outs. So if you've not seen these again, it's a great opportunity, like Craig said, to try these dies. And if you like them, you can have a look at the rest of the collection. This is the hexagon one. So the idea is that you stick it to 2 sides, whether that's inside a card, whether it's in a box lid and attached to the box. But when you open it, you're going to get that lovely spiral pop-out. That's coming free too. we've got one of those gorgeous inverted nesting dies. So we've got the oval zigzag on this one. And the beauty of these is that the detail's on the inside of the die. A lot of nesting dies, we're used to that detail being around the outside edge, whereas these are on the inside, so you get a different look playing around with those. That's coming free as well. This one really blew my mind because I know this has only just been released. Sarah's Signature Angel Collection, literally within the last couple of weeks this has been released during our birthday event, and you've got one of the stamp and die sets from that collection. Now these are set products, so you will get what I'm showing you. So if you were to multi-buy, then yes, you would duplicate these. We've also got the Country Lane 6x6 paper pad there. Again, double-sided, beautiful papers, lovely colour palette in there, just to give you an idea on that one. So that one's got 36 pieces in there, coming to you for free. We've also got that lovely silver gilding flakes in there that comes with the tacky glue to apply the flakes and the little scrubby to help sort of get rid of any of the excess flakes. So I'm going to pop that in there as well, free of charge. And then I've also got a couple of ink pads in mine as well. So we've got that Midas, which is our metallic range of ink pads, and this one's the blush colour, which is a really nice sort of rose pink colour. And then I've also got a Harmony opaque ink pad in Damson Wine, which is the darkest of the purple range of our ink pads. Opaque one being really nice coverage, and it will stay wet for you to pop a clear embossing powder to heat emboss over it if you wish to do so. So all this part here, you can just see all that. If I spread all this out, if I can actually hold it all, you just see all this, so bring it back over here, is actually what you're getting free of charge in with your bag when you actually look at this one being the value within your bag. So £30, $40, down to £24 or $32. But we don't have many of these left. This was on Leanne's cartload last night. We've rolled it over in today's shows, and we are at limited stock on them. So if you're interested, I wouldn't wait too long for that one.
It really is loads and loads. I'm not surprised it's limited stock already. Something else that's been really, really popular the last couple of days. Yesterday, myself and Ben, we had a 2-hour Wednesday edition of Colour Me Happy. Threw my day all out, that's for sure, because we had Colour Me Happy in the midday yesterday, and then me and Leanne had Cartload. Totally threw us all out.
So thinks it's Friday today, don't you?
Well, I was just about to say, we're checking with each other.
Cartload tradition is on a Thursday.
Remember, you're still in tomorrow. You're still in tomorrow. So, yeah, so we had a 2 hours now. Academy of Colour. This is something that is it's born from Leanne, Spectrum Noir, of course. Academy of Colour. It is all about education. It's about you getting the absolute best when it comes to colouring. It is, of course, about the way that you colour, the techniques, how you colour. You're going to be preserving highlights. You're going to be doing the laying of the grey tones. It's stepping you through. What you're going to be getting within this first one, this is the main one, £89 or $118, £71.20 or $94.40. That is for your platinum. Inside here, we're going to open it up. We're going to dive straight in. Now, straight away, all of us crafters, you know what we're all like. It's that luxurious. It's got that lovely magnetic clip just at the edge there. Your colouring journey starts here. Now, what you're going to get in the top is this card. There's a QR code on the back. Please don't lose that, because that's going to enable you to go directly to Leanne's classes. They are round about 2 hours. Each one, when she does it for the first time, each box, they are live. But then what they do, what this card enables you to do is go back whenever you like. So you're going to learn from it right from the beginning. You might want to do a little refresh a week later, 6 months later, a year later. As Leanne said, all the classes will stay there. She's there to hold your hand. She's there to give you a helping hand. When you've done the class, and although you can keep going back, there's Academy of Colour Facebook group. Leanne herself will go in there. She encourages you. It's a lovely, helpful, friendly group for you to post your makes. She'll give you advice, she'll give you hints, she'll give you tips. The main thing is, it's about starting off right at the beginning. And what I say about beginning, I mean circles, cylinders, triangles. It's getting your different direction from your sunlight. It's then moving it into into your portraits. It's moving it into your skin tones of your hair, of course, portraits altogether. Then it's going into fur, it's going into all your different ways, all your different techniques of colouring. When it comes to this very first box that starts you off, you've got your dual tip alcohol pens. What you will then start to learn from Leanne, you can then start to bring that into the colouring with your classiques or your tri-blends, but all of our classes are done featuring these items. There is additional add-on boxes we'll go over just shortly, but these are the starter ones that Leanne will refer to every now and again. When it comes to your first ones here, this one being your Aqua Duo colour nibs as well, two very different shades of colour on each side, including your alcohol marker. You are going to be getting a white pen, you're going to get a spritzing tool, you will get two of your Spectrum Noir black paintbrushes as well. Then to start with, you're going to be getting 3 sets of stamps. So this is where you're going to be able to see the sort of things you're going to start off with. Now, I'm not saying that this is for those that have never ever coloured whatsoever. If you feel as though you are, experienced with tri-blends or classiques, this is a lovely educational journey for you to then progress that little bit further. Things that you'll maybe not necessarily thought of before. But these are your stamp sets. As I said a moment ago, for instance, this one, your heart, your cylinder, your circle, even your triangle. This is where you're going to get all the different depths, direction of shading. You are going to get watercolour card, you're going to get your alcohol card, and you're going to get an acrylic. It's like a pad. It's like a very thick piece of acetate. That's where you're going to do your blending from, your shading from. And in this very first box, what you're also going to get is this folder. You're going to get the folder with each stamp set. You're going to get a divider that you can then start to store all your stamps, class order. You're also going to get these sealable pockets. You're going to put one behind each of the divider. And what Leanne will say, and we were talking about it yesterday, every single piece that you do, even the very, very, very first bit you do, no matter how bad you think it is, because we all do it when we're learning and we're starting something, we'll look at our very first one, I'm like, I don't like that. Pop it in here. It's about that journey from starting off to where you're going to end, and then you're going to continue growing because there's still other classes. It's a phenomenal education journey, as I keep saying, that colouring journey, Jan.
It's the first time I've actually seen it in real life, Craig, and honestly, that looks stunning. I love the black. It's very luxurious, isn't it? And the fact that you've got that there, and then Leanne to hold your hand. I mean, I learnt a lot of what I know at the outset from Leanne. We had a big session with her when we first started working for the company, as far as Spectrum Noir is concerned, and a lot of what I know, I learned. She's one of the best in the business, she really is. And I'm not just saying that because she's part of the company. She knows her stuff inside out. And like Craig says, this is something that you can sort of tap into, whether you're starting or whether you're on your journey, or even, somebody like me that's a bit more experienced through practice. It's not beyond. I always think there's something else to learn.
There is.
There's always something out there that you can learn. I'm an eternal learner. I love learning new things. But it's just presented in such a beautiful way.
Really is.
And literally holding your hand. And I love the fact that it's not just a one-off viewing.
No.
You're not just going to go through it with Leanne and that's it done. You can go back, like Craig said, to that video as many times as you want. Stop it, pause it, have a go, play a bit more, have a go. And it's there literally for you. You've just got that bank of sort of education with it, haven't you, as well as the product and that we always talk about things being fit for purpose. You've got the right product with the right cardstock, and then you've got Leanne holding your hand, taking you through it. And I know I've seen the Facebook page that Craig mentioned, and some of the things that some of our customers have done that they never ever thought they'd be able to do. They can't believe that they've got such a brilliant result. It's really rewarding to actually see the pictures and to be able to comment on them, because people have sort of like made that achievement by following those instructions. And anybody can do it. Anybody can have a go just by following the instructions.
They can, and that's why Leanne wanted to start the Academy of Colour, because, many people will say it, and we hear it yourself, I know you'll hear it as well, I can't colour.
Yeah.
I can't colour. You know, and it could be going back to school days, college days, university days where you're told you can't do something. You know, of course you can. When you've got that education, that full education, step by step you're getting with Academy of Colour, which incidentally, this one here, best ever price, 40% has gone, which I'm not surprised. Also to say, if you've not seen it before, what you will find within the educational videos as well, we showed them yesterday, Leanne has boards and boards and boards of techniques, the steps, how it's going to look, but what she also does as well, when she takes notes for herself, scribbles notes, they all get photographed and they go in that group as well. So everything that Leanne is thinking or using to describe and educate you, she will put that on as well. So all there for you. That's the main one, absolutely. First one to start somewhere. This is absolutely where you're going to start and need to start. £89, $118, or if you are platinum, $71.20 and $94.40. And just quickly to say as well, those that are in it and have been in it for a while have, so many have said, the money is worth just
it's
the
an
education
investment, isn't it? It's an investment in your sort of colouring future. It really is.
Absolutely.
And yes, it's a slightly higher price point than what we've had on the show, but when you think what's involved in there, and if you think, you know, if our Leanne was actually doing real life classes, it would cost a bomb to go and do a 2-hour class with her because of her level of expertise. You'd be paying a lot of money. And if you think, you know, this is sort of the beginning of the journey, like I say, it's an investment in your colouring future. And don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't do something. There is no such word as can't in my language. I always remember being at an open evening with my eldest daughter, with Toby's mum, when she was still at school, and her English teacher had the gall to sit there in front of us and say, English is not really your subject, Nessa, I wouldn't pursue it in the future.
Really?
She now has a degree in English literature, and as a lot of you know, she's a published author.
Yes.
So it was very much a case of stick you.
Yeah. You love it when you hear things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. So don't let anybody ever tell you that you can't do something.
No. Did the teacher ever find out that that is what she does
I
now?
don't know, to be honest. I must admit, in the first book that she had published, she did put a little bit inside it, but I don't know whether she'd not had contact with her since then. So,
I'm glad
but
to
yeah,
hear that.
she actually sat there in front of us and told us that it wasn't her thing.
Yeah.
Didn't come easy to her. She'll be the first one to admit it, but she's persevered with it. And oh my goodness,
And now look
where she is now.
Persevering. Perfect, love it. Such great stories when we hear things like that. But what we are going to do is we're actually going to stick with the Academy of Colour. So yes, that was the main box. Now, when it comes to what I'm away to show you now, these are still the best ever price, 35% saving. These are add-ons or bolt-ons. What you're going to do is you are going to take a lot of the initial classes and education you're going to learn from that first Academy of Colour, and then you're going to bring that into each of these add-ons. So this one here, as you can see, you are going to be focusing onto the portraits. So Leanne will then step you through how you're going to be able to colour with your alcohol markers, also with your alcohol markers and your water-based markers, aqua duo markers, how you're going to create that portrait, how you're going to colour your portrait. You are going to get some more pens. You're also going to get some more stamps that are going to work well with the portraits. Let's just get this one open with that magnetic strip. Once again, you will get a card within each box that will take you to the relevant class. You've got more of your pens, so these aren't duplicates of that original one. It is all brand new colours to the Academy of Colour. But then inside, you are going to be getting your stamps. So we can see you've got a lovely selection where you can be doing different skin tones. That was something Leanne was really adamant that she was going to be able to do. Once again, she's got boards as well as the classes to go over them. Touch upon skin, hair colour, because you've got different hairstyles, the different colours, the
where
tones.
to put the shading and everything.
Where to put it all. And that's it, it's all there for you as well.
And then even, I think that the one that's slightly upside down there, that's the fabric, isn't it? So the pleats in the fabric as well are a good one to practice. So she'll talk you through where to put, you know, the depth of shade into. And again, it sort of makes it look real rather than it just be flat on the page.
And even things like that as well, what she'll do is she'll colour things flat to show you the difference.
The difference,
And it's amazing to see. I cannot explain how methodical she is, but in a way that it's easy to learn.
Yeah.
It's just so lovely, it's nice, it's relaxing. As we say as well, we do have a laugh, but you don't have likes of me or Ben or anyone jumping in and asking additional questions. You can ask questions when it's live, but you don't have all the info that we have to give. It's just you and Leanne, you know, you chat away when it comes to wanting to know about certain things. She's there to help. More cardstock, more watercolour card. I would say as well, where possible, do have a look on our website. We've got some deals on cardstock, watercolour card. It's nice just to have a little top up. So you've got all these ones here. The other thing that we do say, you can go straight into one of these add-ons, but what you will find is many occasions Leanne will refer back to the original one. She'll maybe use one of the stamps or maybe a couple of the pens. So yes, you will learn a lot from each additional add-on box, but they are all there together, complement together and work together. So it's just something just to bear in mind. That one there being your portraits, £31.50, $42.50, or platinum comes down to £25.20 or $34. Then we're going to have a look at flora and fauna. So I'm quickly going to go through these ones because it's the same basis of each of these ones. You get new pens that you're not going to find in the previous Academy of Colour I've just shown you, and you get new stamps. And also, Jan, it's not just about colouring and blending. She'll show you how you can do techniques with the stamps, how you can do backgrounds with the stamps, all these different things as well you can be doing.
Like we were talking about earlier, you know, with the vase and the flowers there, about grounding things as well, so that they're not just floating around. She'll go through all of that with you and explain as to why, you know, that's necessary, show you how to do it. And like I say, there's just that sort of wealth of knowledge. I know when we sit and chat to Leanne, it just pours out of her, doesn't it?
It does.
Just pours out of that knowledge that she's accumulated over the years of actually doing this. So yeah, absolutely well worthwhile.
Absolutely. Of course, I love being on the side that Jan's on. Every now and again, I love being on this side. I've been so lucky that I've got to be on this side many a time when Leanne's across on your side.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, Jan, I stand there, and between watching Leanne and watching the monitor, I just soak as much as I can of. You know, why wouldn't you? Lucky that we get to have that one-on-one, when I say one-on-one, that interaction with her, we do chat to her. It's so lovely, and boy, I know that I'm lucky that I get that opportunity as well as some of us do here. But last one for now, we've got our feathers and fur. Also this one being $33.99 or $44.95. Platinum price $27.19 or $35.96. This is our recent launched one, in total 40 elements. Also, once again, going with the same premise, you've got more of your pens. I keep forgetting the word pens, I don't know why. You've got some of these stamps. These stamps, Jan, for me,
absolutely
are some
gorgeous,
of my
aren't they? Yeah.
Some of my favourites. And of course, if you're wanting to take a little break from the Academy of Colour and you want to use these with your tri-blends and that, of course you can.
Absolutely, any of the colouring mediums that we've had on tonight,
Absolutely,
They don't have to be
100%.
just exclusive to that Academy.
No.
Use them, you know, you might sort of think, oh, I've got a birthday coming up and somebody that really likes wildlife. You know, pull one of those out of there and use it. They're there to be used, aren't they?
Exactly. They really, really are. That one there, of course, being your feathers and fur, Academy of Colour, $33.99, $44.95. Platinum price, $27.19 or $35.96. That was yesterday, Wednesday's edition of Colour Me Happy with myself and Ben. It was 2 hours where we went over everything in detail with the boards and that Leanne had given me to show you. Of course, it's another one as well that you can go onto our YouTube and watch past Crafters TV shows where Leanne's here herself to go over the collection as well. Funny that I should mention Ben, because if you don't know who he is, if you don't, where have you been? Probably because you're new to us. But if you do want to have a little bit more knowledge on our Ben and some of the things I learned from watching this VT, have a look at this.
Hello, I'm Ben and I'm one of the presenters on Crafters TV. So my presenting journey started when I was about 18. I started working at a holiday park here in the UK. Our US viewers might not know it, but there's like a holiday park called Butlins. So what's involved with being a presenter? Well, my day-to-day kind of is ensuring I know everything that's on the show. Ensuring that the guys that I'm working with obviously are happy with everything that's on the show. And I kind of feel like what I do, I'm sort of like the glue in the show, if you like. There's a bit of a crafty reference for you. So kind of listening to the guys in the gallery, the producer, the director, I'm sort of always listening to what they want me to do whilst the crafters are crafting. So I feel like I'm there as the glue, keeping sort of everything, as it should be. But I also think my job is to have a lot of fun, which I think I do on most days. Get the viewers interacting, because we always love to hear from our viewers, and I think that's one thing that we do here that you don't get anywhere else, is that interaction, having people like commenting, asking a question, and then straight away we're able to react, we're able to answer that question, we're able to read out that comment, we're able to join them in singing a rendition of Foam on a Roll. Yes. I help to run the show, I help to inspire, to educate, to entertain, and just sort of generally be a good all-round bloke. So who inspires me? My dad is a big inspiration for me. He's one of my best friends, and I probably speak to him twice a week, but he's always sort of instilled a sort of a good work ethic in me. His big catchphrase is work hard and play hard, and that's something that I live by, is to put all your effort in when you're at work, and make sure you're doing a good job, but then when you're outside of work, make sure you have time to kind of have fun, spend with your friends, spend with your family. So I always remember that. Apart from Crafters TV, what else am I passionate about? Well, obviously I'm passionate about my family. I love to spend time with my family, with my wife, my 2 children, and my 3 pets now, because we just got another dog recently, a puppy, which is killing me. I've got no sleep. Also passionate about sport. I think a lot of our viewers know I'm a big rugby fan. Running I like to do, but again, the old knees are beginning to hurt just a bit. I'm getting old. Oh, so many amazing experiences connecting with our viewers. Always get sent cards, which is lovely on sort of special occasions, and birthday cards every year. I always get cards sent through, which is so nice to come in and have some cards, and you can send presents as well if you like. I've never had a present yet, so if anyone wants to send presents, you can. Do you know what? I haven't had many presenter fails, particularly here. Actually, here, presenter fails, knocking over pack shots. I'm very bad at doing that. If you stack a pack shot too high, chances are I'm going to get exuberant with my arms and knock it over. My biggest moment of pride or biggest achievement, I've got a few. These are big for me. You'll probably laugh. I ran the London Marathon. I was a Guinness World Record holder. I've got the certificate for that up on the wall alongside my marathon photo and alongside my Foam on a Roll caricature. My Guinness World Record was for naming the most amount of Beatles songs from their opening lyrics in 1 minute. I've had things named after me over the years. I had an alpaca named after me. If you are ever in Aylesbury, do make sure that you go and drive around the roundabout, which is near the Waterside Theatre there, because you'll find that that particular roundabout is named after me. Oh yes, I have a roundabout named after me, big time. Have you heard about our new weekend lineup? Weekends at Crafters TV are now dedicated to education, explanation and inspiration. You asked for more shows dedicated to techniques and ideas, and we've got a great lineup with 2 of our fabulous craft experts each weekend. Starter Skills is the perfect show if you're just beginning your crafting journey. Plus Masterclass will help you level up your crafting skills, and in First Look we'll be giving you an exclusive peek at upcoming launches. The ever-popular Second Chance Sunday continues to end your weekend with some retail therapy. You'll still be able to join in all the interactive fun on Facebook and YouTube, and of course, shop for all the items online. Find out more about our amazing new weekend lineup on the weekly schedule page at the Crafters Companion website.
Oh, it's Ben Overload there. It's always nice. Can never be too much Ben, can there? He's got a couple of days off, I believe, now. Before he comes back, he'll be back on Monday. So yeah, that was him. And well, yeah, it's alpaca and his roundabout. Go figure.
That's a bizarre one. How do you
Really
get
is.
a roundabout named after you?
I know. I
The
need to find it.
alpaca I
roundabout.
can get, but a roundabout, Ben the roundabout. I'm just going round
yeah.
Ben.
Ben the roundabout.
Yeah, I'm just going to drive round Ben for a few minutes. It's like, yeah, I'd love to know how that came about.
I would as well. Yeah, it's one of those that I keep meaning to ask him. Ask him. Maybe we'll maybe get him to put a story up on Facebook or that, just to explain exactly how that came about. Really, really lovely show and shows from Wake Up Call into the Craft Vault. A lot of you absolutely loving time that we're spending going over the products, as well as Jan's hints and tips and the techniques that you can be using and creating the collections on the show. So we're going to go straight back to Jan, because you've got our metallic markers.
I have, yeah. This is, you know, like I said, there was the Spectrum Noir heading, and then we had all the different sort of branches off it. So this is all things metallic now. So we've actually got a set of 6 metallic markers that are dual tipped again. So they've got a fine bullet tip, and then they've got a brush nib again on the other end. And you've got 6 beautiful colours in here. And those are coming to you for, again, $5.99 or $9.99. I get platinum. That, do you know, I have to keep picking my jaw up off the floor, honestly. £4.79 for 6 markers, and you're getting 2 ends on each marker. So you've got like 12 different ways of applying the ink for £4.79 or $7.99 if you're a Platinum member. And like I said, don't forget, if it's your first order, you can take advantage of those prices for that very first time. So these are actually, again, they're water-soluble ink. So again, they play nicely. I'm just going to take them out of the packet. You can just see there's a beautiful array of colours in there. You've got some of the sort of silvers and golds, but there's some others popped in there as well. So I'm just going to bring this in just to give you an idea of the different ones. So this one's called Antique Elements. So we've actually got the ancient bronze there. You can just see that colour on the pen lids is an indication of the colour. But again, done on that black card, you can see that metallic element come through. We've also got aged copper. So again, a really nice, you know, these are quite a good match to the colours, just to give you an idea. We've got rose gold in there. Okay, we've got tarnished silver, which is a really, really nice one. You tend to think of silver being a bright shade, but the tarnished one's got that sort of real sort of oldie worldy look to it. And then we've got vintage satin, which is like a nice sort of cross between a pink and a red, really, that one. And then at the end we've got antique pearl, which is a beautiful purple shade there. You can see that one. So these, like I said, are water-based. They will blend to a certain extent. And again, you can do lots of techniques. So yes, the writing looks stunning. Just imagine if you've got sort of Christmas cards and you've got that facility to write inside them with the metallic pens. Like I said before, the metallic will always show up better on the dark colours. So you can just see there, if I tilt that card, how it's picking up that sheen on the card. Now, if I was to do this on white, you would still get the colour, but you wouldn't get as much of that metallic element. So don't forget, it doesn't have to be just black, any dark colour. So it could be a dark blue, a dark brown, a dark grey, anything like that will give you a better result. But one of the other things that you can do with these is go direct to your stamps. So for example, if you've got a really nice stamp, so if I just grab this one that I had with my other demo there, this is one that I use a lot. It's called Beautiful You, and I just love the butterfly in here. So you could actually pop this onto your rocker block, onto your stamping platform, whatever you want to use, and you can take the metallic markers and go direct to the actual stamp. Now, because they're water-based, it cleans off your stamp beautifully. It doesn't actually damage them. But have we got time to do this, Johnny? Can we do this? Just to show you what I mean. It's sometimes easier to show you than it is to actually talk it through. Let me just grab a piece of black card. So this is just our black stamping card, our matte black card. And I'm just going to grab the butterfly there. I just happen to have got my stamping stuff underneath here, which was for something else. I'm just going to pop that straight onto the back of my stamping platform, and we'll go with that lovely purple. Just to show you the nibs, it's almost a cross between a bullet nib and a brush nib, the small one. And then on the other end, you've got a proper juicy sort of brush nib on there. And I'm going to use that one, literally rather than trying to use the end of it and find where the stamp is. If I put the white under here while I'm doing this, you'll be able to see that a wee bit better. I'm going to lay the brush flat, and I'm literally just going to take it from the centre there and just flick it out. Now you can use one colour, or you can actually start and blend those colours. So again, lay it down onto here and literally just apply. It's not going to damage your stamp. Like I said, it's water-based, so it's not going to do any damage.
It's good that you can do that with the pens.
It just wipes off either with a damp cloth or with a baby wipe, anything like that. And then we'll go with one of the golds, I think. We'll go with that rose gold one, I think. That one.
Stamping with your metallic markers.
So again, coming in from the other side so that I'm not going to contaminate it too much. And just bring that one into where that purple finishes. So just bring it up to meet it. And if for any reason you do pick up a bit of the other colour, just a scribble on your paper will get rid of it. It won't hold that ink for very long. So as I say, if you just scribble it on a piece of scrap paper, it'll get rid of any, if you've picked up a bit of the other colour. Now, depending how quick you are, you can go straight to the stamping side of it. I prefer to just give it a little bit of a, you've seen me do this before. If we get our George back to me rather than the overhead George, we're going to do a quick spritz and a waft. All right, so I'm just gathering a little bit of that water. You don't want it wet through. And again, just reactivates because it's a water-based product. If you've taken a little while applying it and it's started to dry, that little bit of moisture will just literally, not quite got enough water on there. You can just see that little bit of the outline.
You can.
So I'm just going to do a little bit more on there. And again, we'll do it on the white as well, just to show you the difference.
Okay.
Okay, so again, as I say, it depends how long it takes for you to actually put that colour down, but you can just see how we're getting some of that detail. So on the black card, you can just about see where it's stamped. And maybe the purple wasn't the best colour to choose there. You can just see in the middle. Yeah,
that works well.
And then on the white, you've got the colour going on there, but not so much of the metallic. And then if you want to actually activate this, you can sort of just spritz your card a little bit, and that just encourages that to move around just a little tiny bit, and then dry it off with your heat tool. You can just see here in the middle now where that purple's starting to sort of activate. And again, lots of different ways. That's just one of the examples that you can do with them, you know, sort of again. And like I said, the actual stamp itself, if I spritz that with water now, and I've got my cloth that I use, which is just a microfiber cloth. Just give it a wipe. You can see that that all comes. Sometimes you might get some of the pigments stain the stamp, but it doesn't damage them. But you can just see how that's pretty much come up nice and clean again, ready to go back in my packet. So yeah, it doesn't damage them. So that's just, again, one of the many, many ways that we can use those, and that's your metallic markers there.
That's great. Thank you for showing that, Jan. I know a lot of people have now has also said it was really good to see that, because
sometimes it's easier to show you than just talk through it. Yeah, when we've got the time.
It really, really is. So we're just about to get to the end of the show. Jan, are you okay if I fire across a couple of questions?
Absolutely. Yeah, I will do my best.
So we've got, so actually I can answer this one. Flick69 saying, I'm tempted with this essential paint markers. Have they been shown? They were shown earlier on. They were also shown on Wake Up Call. So once we finish, just dot back, have a look at them, and then you'll be able to pop them to your basket. We've also got, Anne on Facebook is saying, are you able to tell the difference between the paper types? That was meaning the Neenah, alcohol and watercolour card.
Yes, yes. Even between the multi-purpose card as well. So for starters, there's a difference in the weight. So the smooth card stocks, the Neenah, testing me now, the weight on the Neenah cardstock, is it about 160 GSM?
That's just exactly what I was just about to say.
So that's actually quite a lightweight cardstock, whereas the multi-purpose cardstock is a 300 GSM. So again, much more substantial, but they both have that smooth surface. The watercolour card, I think, is also, it's either 280 or 300, I think. Yeah?
We're so alike, Jan.
Memory,
so
yeah. It's like digging deep into the memory. Don't know about the craft vault. It was in the brain vault then. So, yeah, but the main difference between them is the texture. So the Neenah and the multi-purpose is a smooth surface, which we need for those alcohol markers, for that alcohol to be able to sit on the surface and blend. Whereas the watercolour card, the only way I can describe it is like if you imagine orange peel and it's got that slightly pitted surface. The watercolour card looks like that, and it's designed that way because, as I say, it's very, very absorbent. You can throw an awful lot of water at it before it starts to sort of disintegrate. If you've ever done painting before where you've had a smooth surface and you've kept painting and all of a sudden you think, what's all those little bits in my paint? It's actually the surface of the card that's coming up, and you get those little tiny flecks in it that you can never get rid of with your paintbrush. You end up trying to pick them out. It's actually because the surface of the card is actually leaving the, you know, the cardstock, whereas with the watercolour card it won't do that. So again, that fit for purpose, anything watercolour, use the watercolour card, especially if you're going to be adding extra water to it. And if it's alcohol based, go with one of those smooth surface cards. I would recommend the Nina cardstock for alcohol colouring. You can use the multi-purpose card. It's a thicker card, so therefore again you've got that danger that it's going to suck up a little bit more ink than what it would do if you were working on the Nina. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much for that. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you for all your comments and your questions. I know I didn't get through them all. I will say, I hope you don't mind, I thought it was really important that we go to Jan and we answer the questions, we show techniques, have read all the comments, try to give, even between the breaks there, just letting Jan know the lovely comments. So many just been saying how good it is to have seen you again today.
Oh, thank you. I've enjoyed being back. It's been a lovely show today. I love anything to do with colour. It's my it's my thing. I love all the other aspects of crafting, but down at heart, I started out stamping and colouring, and I still love it today.
Yeah, thank you. And well, for me, it's just been a pleasure anyway.
Of course, I love working. You know, it's nice actually to have, like you said, we're both a craft expert. It's nice to actually do a show together, isn't it? Because normally we're both stood at this side.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It really, really is. We are just about over for today. Can't believe that's been such a great day. Flown in for me anyway. I hope it has for you too. But don't worry, we are going to be back tomorrow. And what I am going to say, if you've got ideas in that, Leanne's in tomorrow. We were saying it yesterday when we were on together. Any ideas of that, just pop them across to Leanne, because she is in all day tomorrow. She's going to be on this side here. We've got Debbie. Now, Johnny, is it Debbie Robinson? Yes, that's right, because Debbie Fisher's having a wee breakaway just now, isn't she? Debbie Robinson, she's going to be in with Leanne. And we've also got Becky Swan. She's going to be in with Softer Side as well. So that's going to be a lovely Friday. I'm not in now for a couple of days. So I've got some, as you said earlier, I can't call it work. Prep work. It's not work. Got things like that to do, so I'll be having a watch as well. Once again, thank you so much, reiterating what everyone's just saying again, Jan.
Thank you very much, and thank you again. And just anybody that wasn't watching earlier, thank you for voting my project as Demo of the Year. I am absolutely thrilled. I'm going to take this home and I'm going to find a space in my craft room for it to sit.
Excellent. We will see you very, very soon, of course.
Yes.
I know you'll be up in a couple of weeks or something, is it?
I'm actually down at Hobby Maker next week. I'm back here the week after, and I will actually be doing one of the new weekend shows.
Brilliant.
And again, very educational, and you might think, oh, not sure about that, but it's all about the different types of cardstock.
Wow.
So we've got that sort of starter skills.
Yes.
So again, if you're starting out your journey, if you just want a recap, I'm going to look at some of the most popular cardstocks and look at what we use them for, what you'll get the best results with, how they compare to each other. I'm really sort of, you know, you might think, oh, I'm not sure about that as a show, but I'm actually quite looking forward to it because that's something that we often overlook. The cardstock, I think, gets the least mention in everything that we do. We talk about, yes, we use that card for that technique, but actually looking at the card itself and how it's made, how it works, got a whole hour just on that.
It's going to be a lovely one.
Yeah.
Keep your eyes on that. That's a couple of weeks. So have a lovely rest of the day, and I hope you enjoy Crafters TV tomorrow and over the weekend. Thank you, Johnny. Thank you, George. Thank you, Tracy. Julia's in as well. I will see you next week. Take care.